Recording in progress.
Welcome to the Bravo Rundown with your fabulous hosts, Sonia Weber and Genevieve Melzer. And we are always breaking down everything that's happening in Bravo, the tea. There's so much summer house tea right now. And follow us here on the Bravo Rundown. And then we're also Real Melz of Bravo, 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 Books and Bravo, and Just Booking Around. So we always start with a hot take. But this week, we have like a joint hot take. And it all started because you sent me this TikTok where you have to help me explain this to everyone. But this creator, her name is...
I don't remember. It had a lot of R's.
I remember. Oh, because I took a picture of a comment so I could read it on here.
It
is Curr, CLURRRR, Clur. Yes, I followed her.
Clur.
And she said that she met someone who went to a few of the summer house parties this past summer. And she said that Amanda was running the show, that Amanda is producer queen.
That's so crazy, but it's not crazy, right? Like I would have never come up with that theory because she was always a side character, Kyle's side character. But then when you think about it, I would assume it's just for this season. This is not like the previous 9 seasons, right?
Right. I mean, because we have Lindsay, who's a strong personality and who's been there longer. Well, who's been actually cast on the show, just saying. And then we have Paige, who's a strong personality and, you just kind of, people gravitate to her. Yeah. So she was kind of like the other star, right, of the female stars. So in this video, she goes on to say that she thought that Kyle and Amanda had an arrangement to keep things good during the season of Summer House and then use in the city as their breakup storyline. But then it was weird because during Summer House, Kyle felt like Amanda was doing stuff behind his back to make everyone turn against him. And he started figuring it out in real time during the season. And so that's why he's looking at her at that dinner and he's like, F you. I know what you're doing, because he has clocked that she is using everyone else and production to make him look bad, to win the storyline, to win the fans'
Which, for him to say that, right, usually was that, you think when someone projects and puts blame on someone else, how are you aware that that's happening if you have not done that yourself?
Yeah.
So has Amanda also learned from Kyle's techniques? And then Kyle's like, wait a minute, you're flipping this on me. Because then if you go back now, West had to be involved in this line too. Because, and we've talked about this, right? Like the two of them texting during the fight, right, and then putting their phones away. The way that when she had her hands on Kyle in the middle of the fight, West whispers something in Amanda's ear and then she backs away. So it kind of looks like West was involved in it too.
Right. And on that note, when West had that confessional where he said the Wolf of Wall Street line about, oh, I've only seen people who give gifts because they're cheating on their partner. And Kyle was really offended about that. He said that on Watch What Happens Live. And so it's an interesting theory because it's also a part of it is that Kyle may have known about Wes and Amanda, but he kind of turned a blind eye so that they could get through the season and get into the city to make those shows successful. And something needed to happen with Loverboy.
I'm still not convinced that Amanda and West were together last summer. I do think that if this is true, that Amanda was kind of like the manipulator, playing production. I don't want to say manipulator, playing production, that West was involved in that game. That for sure, you can see it. And I think it just slid a little further along till something happened. But then now it goes back to how big is this production playing? What all is involved? Is the West scandal even involved? Because we keep going back to why is Kyle not that upset? Yes. Why is Kyle still supporting Amanda? And I mean, everything we've seen, he still cares for. Even on Watch What Happens Live, both Kyle and Lindsay were saying you can just see how much he loves Amanda. Well, how come we haven't seen that in the last 10 years?
I know it's very strange because we have been programmed to see Kyle a certain way. He pops off, he's angry, he yells, and then he apologizes. And he's been doing this for 6 years with his wife. So now all of a sudden, he isn't getting mad at her, and she made him look like a fool in front of the world. You might say.
And he specifically says in the city when they picked up cameras, right? It was like filmed in April. And he says, I'm not trying to rekindle anything. I just genuinely feel really bad for you. So I also wonder with these guys, how much of this is a game with Kyle and West? Both of them trying to get Amanda when they don't have her.
Oh, and let me read what Claire responded, because she wrote this good comment that really... I was like, oh, that was a great way of saying what she meant to say. And so she said about Amanda, she orchestrated Kyle's villain arc to set herself up to be the victim. She tripped right before the finish line. Kyle, of course, has done himself no favors over the last 10 years. You made out with another woman. No, I didn't. There's a video. Okay. That's what she said.
Nobody cares about that now, right?
No.
How much has this scandal completely botched what her plan was to come out on top? Because, and I will admit, like watching Summer House last night and in the city, a little bit of me did feel bad for Amanda. A little bit of me, right? So can you imagine if the scandal didn't happen, how bad we would feel for her?
Yeah. Maybe that's why Kyle isn't mad at her, because he's like, you're making me look good. Thank you. And you saved Loverboy on accident, but it's happening. And
he's smart enough to know not to go hard against Amanda.
No, he definitely is. How did you feel about the season finale last night?
It kind of felt like a series finale.
It did.
Didn't it?
Yeah. Somebody said that on Threads, and I felt that. It was sad.
I don't remember that season ending with everybody crying and saying goodbye and leaving.
They've never showed everyone crying like that and saying goodbye. They usually say goodbye, but they don't cry. I don't know if I've ever seen them cry. They're just like, see you later. See you next summer.
There was one season where they even all went for drinks in Montauk.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, let's all go to Montauk and get brunch. So what was different to cause that? I don't understand. And Amanda and Sierra hugging and crying, was it just the heaviness of because the fight, was that on Friday night? Yes. And now it's Monday?
Yeah.
Labor Day? With just the darkness of the weekend? I'm so baffled by so much.
Maybe also because maybe they already know that house is not going to be available, that they're selling the house. Maybe they said, next season we're not filming here, so this is going to be the last time at this house. So maybe it was kind of the end of an era with the house.
That could be it too. I mean, it did kind of feel disjointed the whole season. You could really feel like even just Lindsay not always being there, Paige not being there, they really didn't have a female cast member to glue it together. I think they always have had that. Paige played it. Who else am I missing? Lindsay did.
The Workus twins.
The Workus twins.
They were the leads.
And maybe there wasn't an alpha female.
I think
is that what it was?
They had Sierra as that role. For the first half of the season, they really gave her a lot of airtime, which I loved, by the way, and I think she handled it great. I think that maybe because Amanda has been there longer and she's good with production, maybe they just had to give her the same amount of screen time to keep her to keep her happy. Also, on that note of her being maybe the queen of production, I reached out to someone who told me they went to a summer house party this past summer. They went to the après-ski party, so they were there. And she said that Kyle was really nice. Wes and Jesse were on the prowl.
You can see that.
Right? She said Lindsay was the queen. Lindsay was queen bee. It was obvious that Lindsay was running the show. Carl and Lindsay were having that talk in the igloo when she arrived. And she said they were in there for an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
And all we got was 2 minutes, if that?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, well, good for them because I want to see them friends again. I want to see them on In the City. Carl has come so far, but in that conversation, when she was talking about Carl's mom, now I feel bad for coming in hard on her for how upset she was when Sharon. I know you were on the right side.
Also,
I was wrong.
No, it's
but
fine.
I get it.
I get it. The other night, I watched this compilation of why Lindsay is iconic, and I was going to send it to you, but I was just like, let me send this to her at an appropriate hour because it was late. But I was like, I need to send this to her.
But I get it. Well, and the one thing I will give Sharon was who was the one posting on social media. So it was one of the big things was Sharon. There were articles saying that Sharon Radke dancing with Sheena at would have been wedding in Mexico, which that's gotta hurt that there's pictures of her dancing. But who posted it? That's the person. That's not I get, okay, let's just make a vacation.
It's gotta be Sheena.
It's gotta be Sheena. I love her, but yeah. I just feel like, okay, you already spent the money. Let's just go on a trip. My baby is upset. I know it's still your baby. He just broke up with someone. Let's go have a good time and forget about it. And rather than lose the money.
Yeah.
But who posted? If she posted or Carl posted, that's bad.
That is bad.
That's like a dagger. Like that's not okay.
If it was anyone else besides Sheena, and weren't Sheena and Lindsay friends at one point?
I think, which seems like an odd pairing, doesn't it? Well, especially now that Lindsay's at the level of influencer that she is, I could see that dynamic. Whereas before, I could see them being friends, and Lindsay will use who she needs to use in order to succeed, right?
And Lindsay is friends with Ariana because I remember during Scandival, Lindsay was there for her. I just remember that they're friends, so
I think they're all friendly. Oh, you know what Sheena said a couple weeks ago on her podcast, that she is good friends with Kyle. She knows Amanda, but Amanda doesn't text her back. When they were in LA for her birthday party, Kyle came. I don't know how many years ago. Kyle came, but Amanda didn't show up.
Okay, let's talk about that because when we were watching In the City, Kyle goes to an event without her for In the City, and the guy goes, yeah, Amanda never comes with you. I'm just kind of used to that. So they have been leading very separate lives. It just kind of opened it up to the fact that what Kyle was saying last week about her not talking to him and really not doing anything with him is true.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
So the fact that she can't even go to this In the City event with him, and she usually will do the filming stuff, it seems.
That's true. Well, but even all we would see was in Summer House. It's like, okay, they all filmed. Oh, that's a good point. It just clicked to me. The filming scene. So anything in the house she's doing, when they go out at night, the cameras aren't there. So she stays back. You're right. But and it was funny because I always had this thought, and I would see comments that were similar, like, okay, you want to settle down, you want to have kids, why are you partying? Why are you partying? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're 50. If that's the life you want to live, then find a partner who wants to do that with you. Don't be with someone who doesn't want that.
Yes. And it was really sad watching them. You could tell it was over, and he's still trying, and you can tell she's totally over it and checked out, and only saying this because they're on this TV show. And I do think it was what he said in the middle of after the fight when he's talking to himself in the bathroom on last week's episode, when he said, "I think she is scared. She's done, but she's scared to be on her own." And I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like Kyle was different on In the City? He seemed like happier, maybe.
I don't know, happier. Maybe it's because in Summer House he was always drinking, and when he drinks, you can tell his voice.
He's not drinking
because he's in the city, and he has always said, Monday through Friday he works hard. He is focused on his work. It's the weekends when he parties. So I felt like normally he gets that voice, that Scott Disick voice when he drinks.
The drunk voice.
He did not have that.
You're right.
So the way he spoke, it felt like a different person. It was very level-headed, like talking about his business with who's the one guy, the venture capitalist.
I want to say his name is Kenny. Maybe.
Which impressive. How old is he? And he's a venture capitalist already, like 37 or 38. Like he invested in Kyle's business, but I would imagine it was a small amount and he's not getting anything back from that.
No, he's not.
That's done. That is done.
Yeah,
but I did like it just felt like a different Kyle. I felt like it was a little more of an intimidating Kyle. Like if I met him out in the world, he's talking about his business. Like when he was talking with Amanda, and when Amanda is telling Amanda like at the cameras came back up, right? On that scene where they're in the apartment, you've lost weight.
She's wearing the striped shirt.
Yeah, everything he was saying and the tone he was using, like, I'm not trying to rekindle anything. Are you okay? Are you eating? It just wasn't the Kyle I'm used to seeing on Summer House.
Yes, because he was sober Kyle, and we never have seen sober Kyle except for a couple of scenes of being in the city on Summer House.
Yeah.
But now, no, you're right. It was really weird when they were talking.
It was.
This is the scene where it's like the flash forward scene, you know, of her and him. He knows about the West thing. It was really weird because she had a full face of glam and he's like, I'm worried about you. And she's like, I'm worried about me too. And I thought it may have been more relatable if you went with no makeup.
Yeah.
And maybe like you had bags under your eyes, like you've been crying.
Which we've seen her like that. That wouldn't be a new look.
It would have been nice to see because maybe people would have been like, oh, she's manipulating the situation. But then in that talk with him, she manipulates the situation. She yells at him during that talk and he's been nothing but there for you. It was weird.
She can't let go of the anger and the cheating.
Yeah.
She can't. And that is what's the end of the relationship. He's forgotten about it. What did you think of the part when there's video of him making out with someone?
Yes. Let's see it.
Where is that? And it was funny because I had just posted a TikTok the other day because I was reading on Reddit. Someone was saying there's no proof. If there were proof, we would have known that there's proof that Kyle had cheated. Which, is it like a known secret amongst all the Summer House crew that he has?
Oh.
But Carl came out and Watch What Happens Live, wasn't it, last week? And he was asked it by Andy if Kyle had cheated, and he said, no, not that I'm aware of.
I think Kyle doesn't tell Carl much. And
well,
Amanda
doesn't
tell Carl much either because... or doesn't open up in the way that Carl is a really safe space for you to be vulnerable. And that could be somebody you could actually be open with. But I don't think Kyle has been as vulnerable as he was during Summer House with Carl until he had that breakdown. But
I wonder if their relationship is I'm up here, you're down here.
I wonder about
Kyle's
that too.
perspective.
I also wonder if it's a little bit competitive just because we started the show together. I'm always going to be, trying to do better than you. I'm always going to try to do better than you. I don't know if Carl feels like that, but
I don't think so.
There might be a little competition on Kyle's
I think Kyle,
end.
But he's always been like, I've owned the business. I brought you in. I did your intervention. You've lost multiple jobs before getting sober. You're right. And now that he's doing amazing, I mean, we don't know how Softbar is doing, but he got investors to help him start it. So you wonder, you're right, that competitiveness, that relationship is interesting. But going back when you mentioned Wes in the Wolf of Wall Street comment, in the Summer House, the boys have always been very bro code.
Yes.
Is this the first time that a guy, because we've had like a revolving door of guys come into Summer House, right? Yes. Is this the first time a guy has gone against Kyle?
Yes.
Right?
I can't think of another because it's Kyle's show. So why would you go against him? The only person who goes against Kyle a little bit is Carl because he just,
but he does it from a place of love, right?
Yeah, he
That's
does.
different.
Yes.
Whereas Wes doing it was kind of like you were fully siding with Amanda.
Yes. What about Luke though? Luke has gone against Kyle.
Who did he get in the big fight with that season? Was it Carl?
I thought it was,
or was it Kyle? I don't know.
Carl and him almost came to blows at the golf thing, him and Luke, but Kyle and Luke had that like weird fight where one of them was upstairs, one of them was, remember, downstairs, and like it was a big thing. And then we don't see Luke on there anymore, just saying.
He didn't mesh with Kyle and Carl. He was just very different.
Or Amanda. Amanda hated Luke.
That's right. And was it because of Hannah?
I think so. I recently saw an old clip and Hannah was crying or not Hannah, Amanda was crying and really upset because of Luke, and it was just...
What did he do?
I don't know. She was like, he is mean to me, or I don't know. I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
I wouldn't mind this is going to be a hot take. I actually wouldn't mind if Amanda stayed on In the City and I don't want to see her with Wes because we don't think that's going to last anyways.
No.
But her fully single and just trying to make it out in the world, her being around like Lindsay and the Georgina girl that have children and Yvonne, knowing that was a life she was hoping to have but doesn't have. I kind of want to see where her life goes from here.
If there's room for Amanda on In the City as a single person, not in a relationship, not with a career or a job, then there is room for Carl on In the City. Because
100%.
there is no reason that she should be on this show. Let's see what she's like without Kyle. Also, it would be interesting to see some of those brand deals kind of come to life. But I guess you're right. It would be fun to see Lindsay go on a shoot, or even Amanda. I don't know if she's getting them anymore. And also it would be interesting to see kind of the fallout of the whole situation. But yeah, we can't have Amanda and Wes back on Summer House.
No, not at all.
Unfortunately, I'm feeling a bad vibe that season 11 of Summer House is going to be very similar to VPR season 11.
I agree with that. I agree. You can't, from the level of excitement, interest that they have been to be going on Kelly and Mark.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big show to get. And they did it separately. Lindsay and Kyle didn't even go together. They did separate runs on that show. You're not going to stay here. You are a Bravo show. We love Bravo, but we're a small little cult of a group, right?
Yes.
You're not going to get that level of fame. Ride it while you can, which is why I was so surprised on Watch What Happens Live that Kyle and Lindsay were drunk.
Yes.
They were not on their game, and especially Lindsay, like they're usually so on their game. It worries me, and I'll get hate for this, but it worries me that they're getting a little too comfortable in all the excitement and the fame right now. Which, okay, they were having some fun, but Andy seemed a little annoyed. Did he look annoyed to you?
I feel like he's always a little annoyed.
He's a little Oscar the Grump, whatever. Lindsay was talking over Kyle. It was fun. It was entertaining to watch. But it's just kind of like, go with your butt.
Well, at one point, Andy says, people on Threads are saying, Lindsay, let Kyle finish his sentences because you keep interrupting, just like I did with you just now.
Oh no, I do it too. It's fine. But Lindsay said at the reunion, Andy was telling me to stop talking or stop interrupting and let other people talk. Which she does that, and that's great. That's fine. But there was a lot of that, and Kyle wasn't getting upset with her. I feel like Summer House Kyle would have been like, Lindsay, just let me talk. Didn't he admit to being on Prozac for a little bit too?
Yes, he did.
Do they have a brand endorsement with Prozac or something? Like, what is...
They must. No, you know what? This is a very relaxed Kyle that we have. Maybe he's just so happy because he's riding this wave of fame and money. But also, I have to mention that on Kelly and Mark, when I watched the Kyle clip, that Kyle again mentioned bro code. He's not mad at Amanda, like you said. He's mad at Wes because of bro code, and that's what his big thing was. And he was also in such a great mood over there. And I thought maybe pretend like you're a little upset because this is kind of crazy, but he was just having such a great time. But that I think you got something there that none of the guys ever come against him. You're gonna take Kyle's wife from him. I don't think so, buddy.
Well, and he's not. Sierra is his friend. He's always had a good relationship with Sierra. So let's go back to Summer House from this week, right?
Yeah.
So him and Sierra are getting cozy again. And Wes tells Ben, hey, tell Sabrina, don't bring up us being in a relationship.
Yes.
It's clear that the same thing is happening. The first go around when they were together, Sierra thought it was serious,
Yes.
monogamous, and to him it was casual. Then he puts out there how it was always casual. It's the same thing happening again with Sierra. You can see it on screen. Okay, but wait, if the scandal didn't happen, would it be as obvious that Sierra is more into West than West is into Sierra?
I don't think so, because he kissed her. I was like, oh, he did say that thing to Ben, which I thought that was growth compared to him on season 8, because he couldn't even say it out loud before. But you need to tell Sierra. You got to stop telling other people. And then you make out with her that same, I mean, I guess that's a confessional. Or no, he said that to Ben, and then he made out with her later that night. So I'm like,
and
it's
smile
the same day. Yes.
On Sierra's face.
I know.
She's just so happy.
happy.
And Mia warns her, and Jesse warns Wes. What was with the West and Jesse cuddle in bed the next morning?
I noticed that too. And then
they're also touchy.
They really
house.
are. And then I was thinking about this. Okay, so I was thinking at the end when Mia and Wes hug, and she's like, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And she's like, I didn't want to like Wes, but I knew I would. And he's so charming. He can charm everyone, right? And it made me think about, I went on this bachelor party. So the guys came and the girls came, and we went to Nashville. And so it was like, I knew some of the guys, but not, I think this was my first time meeting a lot of them. We all had such a great time. We went on like a pontoon boat, and we're drinking. It was like a big drinking fest. This group was big drinkers. And I just knew we did so many activities that were so fun all together, drinking. And by the end of the weekend, guess what? We were telling each other we loved each other too. You know what I mean? We're hugging on each other. We're like, oh my God, we had so much fun. And like, there's lots of couples, but everyone's like, oh, I love you. I love you. And so I'm thinking, oh, it kind of clicked. It's like every weekend you're coming out, you're doing this like really cool thing that's so unique, and we're doing it together. And then you meet people that you actually like, like everyone has coworkers that they actually click with or gel with, right? And so then at the end of this, it's like, wait, we're not going to be together next weekend? Yeah. And so I finally got the like touchiness, and I was like, okay, I kind of get it.
So then, but for West, but some of the girls think it's romantic, but with West, it's not, because we saw him do it with Bailey, with Sierra, with Amanda. Yes. That's the thing. And for the viewer, we can't decipher what is the friendly lovey-dovey versus a relationship. So how did they not get jealous? That I don't understand. Like Amanda kissing Jesse on the lips.
Yeah, that was weird.
Even though it was a small peck, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, we never did that on our little getaway.
Okay, good to know.
Nobody was kissing the other people's boyfriends or husbands, okay? But yeah, that wasn't good. That looked really bad.
So Amanda really thinks that she is different from Sierra, from Mija, the girl who thought she was in a long-term relationship or a monogamous relationship. Yes. I mean, she thinks she's different because from what we're seeing, doesn't it look like it's just the same and she's going to get burned because he just sees it as casual?
Yes. To us, yes. I don't know what he's saying behind closed doors. I think that West, and Sierra kind of alluded to it or kind of said it this season, West is all in at the beginning. So I think he's telling you whatever you need to hear to get you in that bed. And once he gets that, he's like, whatever, I'm done.
So he just wants the chase. He just likes the game.
And so I think Amanda's the damsel in distress. He's telling her, listen, we'll go against Kyle, whatever. And I do think, because remember in the reunion or the leak or something, they say, you said that he's your best friend. Well, when did it become best friend to lovers? Like when does that line get blurred? Yes. And I think that West might befriend you. We're best friends. And then It's like,
Yeah. Oh, that has to be what it is. And Sierra's watching him play that same game on Amanda. So Sierra says he's only with you to spite me. Do you believe that?
I believe parts of that. Yeah, I believe that he resents Sierra because of the audience backlash from season 8. And I don't know if it's conscious, but I think he knew this will really piss her off.
That's so gross.
Yes, it is terrible.
That's so gross. I mean, did he think it wouldn't get out there, that they could just keep it a secret? Did he think the fandom wouldn't care?
That's the part I don't get, because they should have...
Even Amanda.
Yes, the fact that they were posting everything on social media in those carousels, them hanging out all the time, they were playing in everyone's faces.
Yeah.
And so that part I don't understand. Did he just think they could have a casual hookup and people won't find out, it'll be fine? No, they're gonna find out.
Yeah. I mean, they were all, I wonder what Sierra, because remember Sierra had told Jesse, just wait for the reunion. When it was just speculated and they hadn't said it, she said, wait for the reunion. I wonder what she was going to bring up or what she knew.
I would have loved to have seen a reunion where she brought something and the whole thing came out on the reunion.
Yeah. They would have denied it. They would have denied it. That's all it was. What did you think of the reunion trailer?
It was so good. My heartbeat was thumping and I was supposed to take a nap and then I was like, oh my God, what did you think?
It was so good. I didn't realize it because Kyle said this is true, that they were doing confessionals when the story broke, or Amanda posted the story. And so he walks over to her like, look at, I'm like, you have that on camera. You have it on camera.
I know.
And then Jesse crying.
So this is earlier in our podcast, we had talked about how, and I have made a video about it too, that Wes and Jesse aren't really friends. But this made me think that maybe they actually are, because Jesse's crying and Jesse has had, what a turnaround, okay? I just want to give him props for a second. He's the complete opposite of Wes. Wes is an F-boy. He's destroyed people's lives. He's made us hate him because of how he acts. Jesse, on the other hand, he had that terrible season last season with the toe. This season, it does seem like he's changed. He doesn't want to be an F-boy, or he's smart enough to not let us think he wants to be one.
I think that.
On tour. He's going to children's hospitals and singing to kids that are sick. And he had his mom at one of his tours. I'm just like,
I would go to his concert if he came to town. I'm not driving 3 hours to go see him. But he was singing a Justin Bieber song. I saw a clip of that. I was like, oh, and someone posted ew. And I go, no.
Yeah, you're like, no, that's good. And he's good at singing too, okay? Yeah. So I think it would be a great show to go to. Is there anything? Yeah.
I will say with Jesse, I don't think it's acting. I think he is truly affected by this, because I heard him
so too.
Right? I've heard him in interviews, and the way he talks about it, I don't even think it's a PR stunt. I don't think he knows how to express himself, so he answers very simplistically and minimally anything that they ask him. Does that make sense? A lack of affect, which kind of looks detached, makes him look detached from it. And
right, but he's not.
I don't know. I don't think it's true. But not like Kyle or Lindsay, who can spin the PR game. He can't seem to do that.
Okay,
which
that
surprised me.
Yeah.
Which surprises me. Yeah.
Should we talk about Lindsay and Danielle?
Oh, yes.
And this feud that is building.
Lindsay had notes.
Yes.
On her phone in the confessional.
She did.
I don't even understand how it started. She went through it in the city.
Yeah.
She's mad about the hand job from season 4, but I just watched the clip of it.
I think that's just on the list. I think it's like she did this, but what it really was the season where her and Carl were engaged and Danielle was just, no, they shouldn't. Blah, blah. But always behind her back. But also it's hard to tell Lindsay something that she doesn't want to hear. So...
I think Danielle, when she's in that summer house, she drinks. I will like to see her on In the City and see her like we're seeing Kyle, because I feel like every time we've seen her from the minute, maybe in the car, like Carl said they were drinking in the car, I think a lot of her reactions, the way she acts, she's had a lot to drink. So I would imagine that also has exacerbated. It's not an excuse at all.
Right.
But yes, her response to them being together, to them getting engaged and everything, it was just so jarring that it makes me wonder, how much have you had to drink that every single emotion you're feeling is flying out?
But what about during the confessionals? Because I think you're pretty sober during those confessionals, maybe a drink or two, and she was just letting it rip.
I think she got a little comfortable and was liking the attention.
I think so.
That's
too.
what I want to see her on In the City. Is she going to humble herself? Like she was like, her low cut blouse, like all up in Lindsay's face when she was kneeling down there. I was like, oh, ma'am, I would imagine she's gotten a big eyeful right now. You're right in her eye level with that low cut shirt. When she was saying at the very end, saying like, can we get together for a coffee?
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see Danielle apologize.
Me
do, because you're right. She went too far.
Yes, agreed. For that person who was your best friend. And I think they actually were best friends. I think that it was hard. It's hard to be a best friend with Lindsay because she is going to have the spotlight over you. So if you want, right? So I think that when she started saying that stuff about Lindsay, she started getting more of the spotlight.
Well, and how the message was delivered, right?
Yeah.
Well, like she did, like she ruined her engagement party to go around, and I would imagine Danielle's emotions. She probably was coming from a good place. Like, be careful, you guys are fighting a lot. Carl is just newly sober. You're drinking again. Like maybe your message was delivered horribly. And that was the problem.
Is it bad if I say, was she jealous?
No, I think there was a big no.
Carl?
Well, I don't know.
Remember the
Carl.
three, the tray?
True.
What are they called?
Maybe not necessarily jealous in that she wanted to be the one to be with Carl.
Yeah.
But jealous in that their little triangle friendship is now busted.
Yes. And maybe she thought her and Robert, the chef, they were really serious and they were going to maybe get married or, they were going to be together forever. Then he breaks up with her and she is...
No, I think that's exactly what it is. So more so jealous that you're getting married, you're settling down, you're getting a future. I wanted all that. Yeah. And I don't have it. I think, yes, absolutely. I think that was projection coming out and it came out and made great television.
Yes. And now she's pregnant. So, hey... She's getting all of this stuff. And Amanda being the one to drop Amanda's like, I have the tea. And Danielle's, boyfriend is still married.
Someone said, so he's Irish. He had an accent, right?
No, I don't know. I
thought I picked up on an accent. Okay. But someone said that he's Irish, and in Ireland, it's a lot more difficult to get a divorce.
Okay.
So I want to hear more about that. I do like Danielle, so of course I'm going to be open, and I want to hear because that's just fact. If he's married, he's married. And you can't take anything away from that. But how long have they been married? What's the deal with the separation? But also getting pregnant when the divorce isn't finalized.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the divorce. Like, I don't know how bad it is. Or is it just waiting for a judge to sign off? Is there finances and business? I don't know. Yeah. But I do want to hear that story.
Yeah, same. And, remember, Dolores' Polly, he was still married.
That's right.
So this isn't the first time. But, they were separated for a very long time. So it wasn't
But there was talk that he was the one not signing off on the divorce, right? Polly wasn't because of finances. That's why I'm assuming is the exact same situation here. Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything you want to talk about with Summer House in the city, or should we move on?
I think we move on. Oh, and just one thing. Gemma, beautiful baby.
Oh my gosh, the cutest.
So cute. And her anger and those big eyes and the way she's like, the producers got it so well with the side eye.
Oh my gosh, she's just like her mom.
It was.
Let's talk about Atlanta because it is firing on all cylinders and it was so good. It was reminiscent of the old days of Atlanta. And this cast is the perfect combination of what you need in Housewives. What is going on with K. Michelle?
No, she's not the most likable. And the only reason I say that is because she's such a negative Nancy. It's like the first episode 1, episode 2, it was kind of blank slate. She was just telling, I was fascinated by her country music career. She's at, the Country Music Awards. She had a silicone leak or something. Okay, interesting. And then boom, episode 3, she's in the hospital. She gets her glam, walks out the door to go get a pedicure. She's talking about the pain she's in. And Portia asks, was it a miscarriage? And K. Michelle is not having Portia anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when everything is negative Nancy.
And the thing is, K. Michelle doesn't tell the ladies that she has a problem with them. She tweets it. So to find out what's going on with her, just check her Twitter. Was she paranoid? Is she paranoid? Listen, Portia can give the best shade. She is one of the shade assassins, right? I didn't think she was trying to shade you when she asked if it was a miscarriage, because later Portia had said, oh, but we were talking about that. And so I thought that I asked.
It was fine to say.
Yeah, fine to say.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Then we have this Frito
hot Cheeto.
Yeah, hot Cheeto.
Hot chili cheese Cheeto.
Fight in the bus. And then we're at dinner and we're all good. And Pinky was sick in the bathroom.
Oh, my favorite part. Oops, I was going to save that.
Oh, it's fine. That's her favorite part. Pinky's sick in the bathroom. So because they're talking about that, then they get the oysters. And that's when, there was this vagina talk. There was this sick talk. So that's why Portia said, oh, let me check those oysters for you, those vaginas. Because we're talking about what Kelly said and what Pinky's puking there. Mm-hmm. But that's not how K. Michelle took it. Was Portia, again, shading K. Michelle?
I don't know. I feel like she's reading into it.
I know.
Right? But who knows? It's true. Like, they all go into their seasons with a plan, who they're going to take down. And K. Michelle is very aware of this. But is anyone in her ear egging her on? That's the question.
Yeah, because the question is it Shamia in her ear egging her on? Is it a producer who called to tell her this plan?
Oh, yeah.
That was what the Crappens guys had said. That could have been a producer that was like, oh, they're planning to take you down or whatever.
Yeah.
I do think that, they probably are planning to take you down because that's what the OGs do.
Oh, yeah.
But also, Drew only mentioned Black once. You've not mentioned him 2 or 3 times.
That is weird. That is so weird. The Black thing. I don't even think it seemed very benign. Like, oh, yeah, you messed it. Oh, yeah, you know him. Okay. But to take it so offensively, nobody thought you were cheating.
No. And then the fact that you're a little weird about it, it brings up speculation. And my theory is, listen, she did act excited when she saw him on the phone. She said, oh, nice to see you again polite. Or something. She was more excited again. And she was more excited than if your husband, that'd be different because I feel like I kind of know him. But if a friend's showing you a boyfriend for the first time, I would be like, oh, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, I felt like she showed a lot.
And if it's a fan, maybe, it's a fan in your, whatever. Someone
You're
in the world.
Nice to a fan.
Someone in the world, like within their entertainment industry.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a bad reputation. Okay, hey, and just let it go. But you brought it up again.
No.
Because was she paranoid that Drew was going to be setting her up to say that you had something happen with Black?
But then she shows the DMs and there was kind of a lot of them. And then I'm wondering, well, what were you responding?
Yeah.
And did maybe she respond something that maybe she felt like she shouldn't? So now she's like, oh, I got to make sure that I'm on top of this. But maybe that didn't happen at all. But it's just not looking good. It's weird.
Well, she was on Love and Hip Hop too. I wonder, did you watch that show?
No, but I heard that she had a really bad experience on that show.
Oh.
So that's why she's coming in like this. Then again, she brings to the TV the rumor about her vagina when nobody brought it up. And granted, maybe one of the ladies would later this season, but you brought it up. So if you didn't want it on this show, you just brought it.
She's going too hard defensively. She needs to go more offense. That's the problem.
Yes.
She's pulling her own self down. Whereas you just own things. If they come out, you own it and you move on.
Yeah.
But the dwelling on it and the playing the victim, that's the problem.
I know. And it's kind of fun to watch, though. Her and Pinky, both very fun to watch.
Loving Pinky. Her getting drunk off the tequila commissario, and the whole trip was just support the tequila brand, and then it's like, be careful how much you drink. You're gonna get stuck puking.
And she was wearing the little booties coming out of the bathroom.
Who gave her the booties?
I was so confused.
Maybe production have booties? Like, you don't want the vomit on those shoes.
I was wondering about that too. I was like, do they wear those at the house? Is that like a production
thing? Might. I can see how maybe production does.
Maybe
so they don't
she put them on or something.
And like just the walk out of the bathroom stall, goes to wash her hands, the plant knocks over. She's just
it was so good. But is Shamia in K. Michelle's ear? We have two groups now that are clearly aligned, and I could kind of see where Angela was coming from, saying Shamia had a face.
She did. She's always has the face. She makes those faces. And I want you to make those faces because you're involved in the conversation without using your words. It's great. But also I think Shamia is a very intelligent woman. She plays a good game in discussions. So they probably feel, well, it's got to be Shamia. Who else is it going to be? I don't think it's, Pinky doesn't know what's going on.
And
I don't think it's Kelly. I don't know if it's Kelly. I just think Shamia is sharp enough to know how to play the Housewives game.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She's been around. She's seen from the best. Portia.
She has.
Because I think what happened was K. Michelle was upset. She voiced maybe a little bit of something. I think Shamia said, yeah, they do that. And like, this is what Portia does. Because Portia and Shamia were so close. You know, Shamia knows all Portia's secrets of how she handles the show.
Yes.
Right? And Shamia in her thong, like having that chat.
Even Andy brought it up on Watch What Happens
Live.
I know. That was hilarious.
I know.
It was so funny. Just like walking around, like turning around. I mean, we see it on Summer House, but we don't always see it on The Housewives.
Which group do you want to be in? Do you want to be with Drew, Cynthia, Angela, Portia, and Phaedra? Or do you want to be with Pinky, Shamia, Kelly, and K. Michelle?
Oh, first group, for sure. But Pinky can come hang with us, too.
And it's crazy that we're not that far into the season. I mean, we're a good amount, but the groups are divided.
Yes. But did we come into this season with Kelly and Shamia already on the outs?
I don't know if they were already. I feel like everyone was giving. I think it started with a new slate. So yes, there was there's been some stuff between Drew and Shamia. And then there was stuff with Portia and Kelly, maybe a little bit. But I think that Portia was like down to be, well, then Portia said the thing about the married man. So maybe.
Yeah, she did come in hot like first
episode. Okay, so never mind about that.
Yeah, that's true. She did. But then she's like, but I can wipe the slate clean. Like she gets over things, it seems. Like it seems like she's not really affected by this stuff. Like, let's just play the game. Let me just say this, throw it out there. All right, now let's do some resolution because we're playing the game. We're doing our show, right?
Exactly. Portia's such a pro. I just love her. I just love her on the show, and I love her confessionals because she's so pretty.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Like with the blonde and the hair up, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And everyone
I want to see
is
Sway.
Pretty, but I know, me too. I want more of that and less of
this
see
Sway.
Mike guy.
Oh, the big.
Yeah, we're like
muscles or just big.
Yeah, we're like
he's a big dude.
Because you're into Sway, so let's find out more about Sway.
How late was Drew? Like, why bother going? Because it took them over an hour. They went through a hurricane just to get to the gala. Because it looked like the gala was in like inner city Dallas. Did they show us a map or something? Or just by looking, it looked like that was inner city Dallas.
That's cool.
But they were on the outskirts of town. In Texas towns, like it's a joke. Like I'm in Houston. It's like just plan for 30 to 45 minutes to get anywhere. Like it's like city is here and suburbs go all around. So we have a loop, a loop. And Dallas is kind of similar. So it took them over an hour to get there. So Drew leaves 3 hours late, right? After the party started.
She gets there 3 hours late. Yes.
Like, why
when
even
they're
go
leaving.
at that point?
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
knowing it's an hour to get there, why go?
I think she just felt like she had to show up.
How'd she get so late? They were all in the
don't-
house with the. Did they share glam? I didn't understand that part.
I wonder because maybe she got the short end of the stick with the glam, like everyone else got their glam first, but then they blamed her. But also, Drew is notoriously late. Like she was late last season. She like missed something. And she'll say, like, it was traffic, but it's not. People say she lies a lot, too.
A Dorit.
I love her.
She's so happy. She's very jovial, it seems. Because this is my first season, right? No, a long time. She's just all, like, when anyone's coming to her, it's like that smile. Except when K. Michelle was getting up, right? On the outside on the porch or wherever. But she just seems like a happy soul.
Yeah, no, I know. She seems happier this season than last because last it was all about her divorce. And I think she's still going through that.
Wait, wasn't something in the news about custody or something? How she lost custody because she wasn't getting her kids to school on time?
Oh.
There was something about that.
Yeah, that sounds like her, unfortunately.
That's not good.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And I guess she does movies outside of Atlanta, so she's gone a lot. So did he get full custody? Or
well, and it was something about losing the house too, or something. And I just hope that I don't want her to lose her house or her kids.
Yeah, no.
I really hope they could just like figure it out.
Because was there some scandal with her? Was it Ralph? Is she with the guy
he lives in the basement of the house, and she lives in the upper level. I don't really know. I know that she dipped her foot in the lady pond too at some point. Sorry, my dog just tried to come in here and like, nope. He stuck his head in, and now his head is in there. Thank you. Should we discuss Rhode Island?
Yes, another brawl. Another brawl.
Yes.
Not a ton, except the end.
Yes,
right?
The end was great. And I'm starting to think, and I even did a poll this week. I was talking about this last week, I think, where I said, I don't think Kelsey is relatable to people.
Yeah.
Because of the whole, not many people are living the life that she's leading. But I took a poll, like, whose fault was it, or whose side are you on? And people are on Rosie's side.
I was surprised by that. I saw that. Because I do like Kelsey. So I don't think our housewives need to be relatable. Camille Grammer, Adrienne Malou, right?
No.
I don't need that. I want entertaining. And I actually like Kelsey. But I do wonder if she is already starting to manipulate storyline a little bit. Like coming in, knowing this is going to bother. Did she really think Rosie was over it? Because she had no defense to anything Rosie said.
That was interesting because it did feel like something you could maybe pull that joke with like a good friend, but you just meet up with this chick, and I don't think that's a good look. I wanted to tell you also, I did another poll, fakest Real Housewife of Rhode Island, and this one was over on YouTube. Kelsey, 54%.
That's crazy. Is it because everyone is saying it's come out now that she actually broke up with that boyfriend whose home she was in 2 years ago?
Because Rosie is putting that out there in interviews 2 years ago. Also, Rula got some strays on that, 29%. I think Rula is fake.
Like, what is she doing with her? I honestly, for next season, I don't need that storyline. I'm bored by it. Like, okay, he's cheating. We know he's cheating. She knows she's cheating. She doesn't want to do anything about it. Let's move on. Like, I don't need us to keep, oh, look, he's at the dinner table and now he's going to go get a call from her. I don't care.
I agree. I'm over it as well. What's the big thing that's going to happen with it later this season to end? Who cares? I think he is doing it, allegedly. I don't want to be sued. But is there a bigger scandal brewing? Because Liz's best friend, good friend, pal, Dino, was arrested this week, and he potentially could go to jail for life for selling Coca-Cola. We call it showering on Summer House.
That was in 2021, right? It's not a new charge? I may be wrong.
I thought that it was...
But it may still, those are his charges. They have not yet.
Oh, and maybe that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still like through the process of everything. I don't know why I saw that. I could be totally wrong, but I thought they were older.
Okay.
But I don't know. Or maybe they're older charges on top of newer ones. I'm not coming into this podcast read today.
It's
fine. Out wrong facts.
It's weird because somebody's husband went to the boat. People are now saying that Liz came on the show to peddle a narrative. They're selling the boat, the fishing boat, that he was gone 3 weeks. Like, why did we even learn about that? Why did we even learn about that?
Well, what kind of money do you have that you can go do sporting competitions for 3 weeks of every month for the full year? When are we working? Where are we mailbox money like Chef?
We have a lot of money, it sounds like.
Where's the money come from? The weed company? It does that well. Tamara's doesn't do that well where she doesn't have to work.
I'm not sure. I think that the husband has lots of money. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a boat like that?
Yes. And that house
is gorgeous. House looks new. You know what? It's only like 3,400 square feet. I will say that, though.
Oh, yeah. We learned the square footage of everyone's home.
That looks massive. Massive. Yeah, it really I was surprised by that. I would have guessed, like, I don't know, 6, 8, like Rosie's.
Anything that involves a boat is so much money. Any of those racing, those fishings, like, it's crazy.
That's a big boat. And did you notice that when they were selling it, the boat captain was in the boat? I was like, are they selling it? Like, does he belong with the boat? Can you sell the boat?
He goes, you get the captain too.
And then you have to pay for the boat slip as well, the gas on the boat. Like, it's very expensive.
It's giving Teresa and Joe Giudice.
Allegedly.
It's just a little odd, and I don't want to know more.
At least they have a company, like, right? They can always say, like, the company is what's bringing in the money. It's just a lot of it. Because I know Tamara, I guess you can't compare two companies, but her Venus CBD does well, but she hustles. Like, you can tell she is all about using her fame to get every drop of money that she can while she can so she can retire.
And Liz did say this week that they were the first. So they were the first of the weed thing in Rhode Island. It is. So imagine being the first in California. I mean, Tamara's just jumping in the game later, but if you were one of the first dispensaries, you know,
you would be doing well.
It's just very
and just the relationship, the Dino relationship with Liz, and how at the party Kelsey was like, stop talking about him. But why is Kelsey saying stop talking about him?
Well, and that's another thing. When I heard this evidence, it made me remember that episode where Liz got really mad at Kelsey at her party, and it kind of made me think, oh wait, was Liz talking about something else, not the cheating rumors, but kind of this narrative that she's trying to push? Is that why she got mad at Kelsey?
Yeah, like maybe don't bring his name up and be affiliated with him when he has these charges against him. It's charges, right? Again, I don't know, lawsuit, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, no.
But maybe don't be.
You go away for a long time.
Yeah. So maybe she was like, "You don't want to be affiliated with him. Stop bringing his name up."
Yeah.
But how did Liz take it? How do you think she took it though? She was so offended.
I think she took it like Kelsey was talking about the drug charges and like hey,
don't talk about it because of that. And maybe she really was.
Maybe she was. And Liz was like, hey, don't even talk about that. So that's why she was so pissed.
Oh, maybe she mentioned it and it didn't get caught on. We didn't get to hear that part. But maybe she did say that.
Or she just thought that, you know? I mean, these ladies
she was mad. That didn't make sense. It didn't match.
Mad. No, exactly. So now it's kind of matching.
Yeah. How'd you with the Rosie Kelsey fight though? I did want to know your thoughts. Whose side were you on?
I just don't like either of them.
But you sent me the TikTok of Rosie at her news job.
Oh my gosh, and she's so bad. She was so bad. And I work at the news, okay? And you would get fired if you acted like that. They're tossing
you have to share
her.
It.
Okay,
put it on your Instagram stories.
I know. They're tossing to her. And so they do this every day. They're going to toss to Sonia for traffic. And Sonia, how's traffic looking? But maybe it's a rainy day. So it's like, oh, and the weather is rainy today. How's traffic looking? Or how are the roads looking out there? And Rosie says, oh, I do traffic. I don't do weather. Never have I ever heard anyone say something like that. Oh my God. It doesn't matter what they say to you. You just go, well, blah, blah,
and
blah,
transition
blah, blah.
to what? Because
Exactly.
she said, like, well, how's the weather going? Oh, since it's so rainy, the roads are. She's like, I don't do weather. Like, no wonder.
Yes. And then they tried, another clip was like, they're like, Rosie, are you there? And she's like laughing. And she's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. I don't know. She looked real annoying to work with.
Her husband was on Watch What Happens Live as the bartender,
yes.
and you could tell someone had said this just from watching the show, that he really feeds her or kind of tells her what to do. You could see it on Watch What Happens Live, and she kept turning around to him, waiting for her cue of what to say and what to do.
What did we think of him after we saw him on
I don't know.
Live?
I got a creepy vibe. I don't know the way he looked.
That's so funny about him, because you had said we don't like him anymore. So then I was like, okay, I don't know why we don't. Then I watched that and I knew
just from watching it, right?
And and then he had something to say about Kelsey or something, and that was the ick. You don't know. You give her advice on how to deal with these ladies, take the high road, you control your behavior. Like, that was all good advice. Then he says something on Watch What Happens Live, and I'm like, shut up, sir, dude. No. Yeah.
He reminds me of a 1970s game show host.
Yes.
Right? I don't know why. Something about
he's trying to look like Frank Sinatra, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense. Whose side were you on, Rosie or Kelsey?
I was shocked because I was like, I still kind of sided with Kelsey. I mean, I don't know that she was in the right. She still did wrong. But Rosie just went, what? Even Kelsey didn't
Rosie
even
was
really
like,
respond.
bap.
Like, you didn't win the pageant and your ex-boyfriend was paying for the judges. And so she like basically kicks Kelsey out the door, goes inside, and Kelsey, actually, I won the pageant fair and square. Door closed. I think that's why I liked her. I didn't feel like Rosie was so in the right. Like, I didn't have this conviction.
Think so either.
I felt like it was entertaining.
Like, totally. Yeah. Thank you for being entertaining. Your energy was a little off from the thing, but thank you. Because at least we had that, because the episode didn't give that much.
Yeah.
Right?
No, otherwise, it was just fine. It was just like a round robin, going through everyone's lives, and then ended with a bang.
It really did. Any last thoughts before we do rapid fire?
No, I think the reunion was supposed to film this week, Dolores said. I guess we're on Wednesday, so maybe Thursday or Friday, and Dolores wasn't invited. She was a little upset with that, which she barely was on this season. She didn't need to go to the reunion.
But apparently she said that she thought Rosie had something to do with that. Because she said that she didn't think that Rosie really liked her being there. And
yeah, you're right. I think Rosie's insecure. They're
I think so
all
too.
Like she even used the word. She even in the fight said something. I can't remember what it was. Your clique, right? And I think she thinks Dolores and Liz are the queen of the clique, the queens of the clique,
right?
And so probably automatically doesn't like her, and probably feels like Dolores is not letting her into the group. That's what I'm guessing. She's very sensitive to that.
Yeah. You're in the group, Rosie, okay?
Well,
whether
when you
we
come
like
out
it or not.
With the polyamory, polygamy, whatever, from episode 1, like, that's going to affect where you stand in the group.
No, it's true. And there is 2 sides dividing as well. We have Liz, Joellen,
everybody.
Kelsey. Wait, no, there's kind of like 3
Alicia.
cliques.
Well, wait. Ashley and Rosie
and Rula, they all get along. It's like who is together in the after show, because I figure
Rula's alone.
Yeah, Rula, I guess. It does also feel like Joellen and Alicia are their own little pod, and then Liz and Kelsey. So there's actually 3
That's true.
groups.
You're right.
Because Alicia and Liz, that's about to go at it next week. That's
just been building up. I want to see that.
Me too. I definitely
thought Alicia was
that.
too scared.
I know. Yay. Okay, here is your rapid fire.
Okay.
Who should return to Summer House? Sierra.
I would like to see her, but for her, she doesn't need to film with this group. Like, she can move on.
Agreed. West.
No.
Yeah. Amanda.
I want to see her in the city. I don't want to see her in a party environment because she doesn't really party.
I don't want to see her on Summer House. I don't want to see her on In the City, but I'm dealing. Kyle.
Same, in the city. I don't want to see any more drunk Kyle. I've seen enough of him. I want to see more sober Kyle and growing lover boy and going on dates.
Let Kyle have like maybe a weekend or two at the house. I'd be fine with that. Maybe just like, I'm single now. Like one weekend of that would be fine.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
No, absolutely not. In the City is her show. You're a mother. She didn't really even party while she was in the house.
No. Carl.
No, I want him on In the City. He's sober. The party environment it's meant for the young kids.
Yes. Mia.
Yeah. Is she still with her guy? Another chef? I mean,
I thought they were gonna break up like
I thought so
finale.
too,
I kind of think they are broken up. She has a dog now, and I think that she got a dog. You know how she said she wanted a baby? I think she kind of broke up with the guy, got a dog, which I love. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
You could put a lot of love into a dog. KJ.
Yeah, bring in some of his friends. Yeah, and Dara.
That was next.
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah, bring in Bailey. I like these young kids.
Ben.
I don't know. I feel like he'd be more in the city with Sabrina if he were to come back, maybe as a friend of on In the City, but I don't feel like he ever fit in. He was friends with Kyle and Amanda.
Yeah, if Kyle's not there, then Ben really shouldn't be there either, but Sabrina is who I have next. So.
Oh, well, I mean, they're two together. Like, I feel like they seem kind of older too. They don't seem as young as the others. And they're establishing their relationship. I'd rather see them like Andrea and Lexi, the younger version.
Yes. Also, it was a lot of I love yous from them in that last episode that I don't need.
Which they're not going to be that in this season.
No.
It is a year later. There's no way.
Yeah, no. Levi.
Yes, I want to get to know Levi. She got some chirons in the episode.
Yes.
And then there was where's Levi? And she's like,
oh my gosh, I thought that was so funny because I was like, they did that because we're always like, oh,
they had to have.
And I do think there is some drama between Dara and Levi and Bailey because of that. Didn't you hear that Bailey and Levi like doubled down that Dara's only dating KJ to be on the show?
Oh no, I didn't hear that. Present day, they're saying that?
Yeah, like after the reunion or before the reunion. I know. So I was like, so there's like beef between the new girls, but she was, and KJ said this in a thread, Dara already had a following before
I saw that thread, yeah.
And I like her. I just think that that's a real relationship. I don't think it's for their show. Yeah. But they have, I don't know, they think something. But I can
sense some mean girl from her. I can see that. And Bailey and Levi are more girls. So I can see the three. Yeah. Like butting heads for sure.
Yeah, so bring them back so we can see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. That is all this week for us. And follow us, The Bravo Rundown. We're so happy to have you, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.